To finish things off, we talked about Star Trek a little bit here, and now I have to it's time for me to put you on the spot. Star Trek or Star Wars?
Star Trek. Honestly, Star Trek. And I love the original series, but I have to admit, I was rewatching some of the Next Generation with Patrick Stewart and stuff like, and I wasn't a big Picard fan. I think season 1 was a real turnoff for me. Mm-hmm. But I call it Riker got his beard. When Riker grew his beard in and they brought in the Borg, I was hooked.
Yeah.
I mean, they I don't know if they got a new team of writers, but they seemed to get traction the second and third season, and it was some really compelling stuff. And I think, I always love Jim Kirk, and I think for where we were as a society, Star Trek, the original series, was the best Western in space.
Yeah.
You had Captain Kirk was, Marshall, the space version of Marshall Dillon, and Mr. Spock was, his deputy, and they were going in and they were solving all the problems with the big Enterprise and their phaser banks. And I think as we as a society got more complex and, problems were, more solved through peaceable means, Jim Kirk wasn't viable in the 24th century. You needed a Picard, somebody who could handle things more of a cerebrally. So there were two different captains for two different ages, but my heart is definitely with the original series.
Oh yeah, I love both of them, and it's like, if I'm just gonna pick something randomly to watch, it's like it's almost going to be an episode of either the original series or the Next Generation. I'll put on Deep Space Nine or Voyager 2, but my first go-to is going to be the first two series, and it's I was the same way with Next Generation. It's like first season, I kind of gave it a chance. I liked it, but it wasn't quite there. But something clicked in the second season, and I know a lot of it was Melinda Snodgrass, who I've gotten to meet. She lives in Albuquerque, came on as a script editor in the second season. And it was towards the end of the second season. I think she was hired as script editor, but she wrote the episode. She was first hired to do the episode Measure of a Man, where Data was put on trial with Bruce Maddox. And that really that was like a big turning of the corner for that series, was kind of right around that, the episodes right around that episode in the second season.
That was compelling.
Mm-hmm.
That was a compelling episode. That was powerful.
Yeah.
It really was. And again, like I said, the later season, the later episodes, they really got traction. And like some of those episodes, like the Borg episode, anytime they had the Borg in for the middle, when they were that force that would be, they were irresistible. That mystery of the Borg really hooked me back into it.
Oh yeah.
And even John Delancey is Q. What an amazing concept for a character, and he played that so well.
He did. Well, Greg, I think it has been just great sitting here chatting with you. We could go on, I think, for another few hours.
Easily.
But I think we'd probably better call it for this right now, and maybe we'll have to schedule another chance to chat.
I'd love that. That'd be great.
But I've been having a great time. Thank you so much for talking to me about your novels, about science fiction, geeking out on monster movies.
It's been my pleasure. Thank you so much.
Okay, take care now.
Take care.